special episode on the NDTV Diageo Road to Safety campaign. Road to safety is a critical issue in India and it is one of the most demanding crises that our country faces today. Bad road behavior, poorly designed roads, poor enforcement of the law, as well as lack of inadequate emergency response are a few issues that our country faces today. More people die in road crashes in India than any country in the world. There are 423 deaths every single day in road accidents in India. 17 people die every hour on our roads. The number of road crash deaths has increased by 31% from 2007 to 2017.
It is like on an average every year in insurgencies and terrorist cases, almost 2,000 people die. In road accidents or road crashes, 150,000. It's 75 times more grave than what you believe terrorism is. Of the 12 lakhs of people who die across the world, we have 150, is almost like 11.5%. We may have a large population, doesn't matter, but we don't have to kill.
The horrific loss of lives in road accidents is India's worst kept secret. And the toll that it takes in every single way is horrific. Lives are destroyed, families are left ruined, and given the staggering numbers, our economy gets hit. Behind each statistic, there is a story of a father or a mother, son or daughter, brother or sister, colleague or friend whose life has been transformed in an instant by a road crash. Kongposh and Asha lost their 19-year-old son in a fatal road accident in 2012.
My son, Yosman, he was 19 and was doing Eco Honors from MIT International. Yosman just wanted to spend night with his friend that day. It was on, I remember very well, it was on 18th of October. He went to his friend in Panchsheel Park and he said, "Mom, I'll go to college with Shantanu in the morning." And he called me in the morning and he said, "Okay, Mama, I'm going to college." And I work in a blood bank. I went to office. I was working in office and around 12:30 I got a call. It was Tushar. He said, "Auntie, just listen. Yasu has met with an accident and please come." I asked him, "Where are you?" He said, "We are going to take him to Kailash Hospital and you please come fast." And immediately I took office car and I left that place, called my husband that I'm going to Noida Kailash Hospital, and we also reached there.
A happy family of 14 went on a holiday and fell deep into a valley. 3 lives lost and all others seriously injured.
We went and we fell. I don't have any memory of that moment, complete amnesia they say. But somebody hit us from the back. We fell down 700 feet. They went away. Not only they, many other vehicles also went past. At the end of it, we lost 3 lives, both my sisters younger than me and one brother-in-law. Everyone else was injured. Importantly, there were 2 spine injuries which caused permanent disability for life, my mother and I.
There are several reasons why road accidents happen at this rate in India. In today's episode, we intend to highlight just where we stand and the desperate need to make changes so that the future generation can be safer on the roads than we are today. The big problems: drivers with little or no training, poor enforcement of traffic laws, the negligible use of technology in monitoring and regulating traffic, basic flaws in road design, and the lack of trauma centers across the country. Most road users are usually aware of the law. It's respecting the law which is an altogether different story. overspeeding, drunken driving, distractions to driver, red light jumping, avoiding safety gears like seat belts and helmets, non-adherence to lane driving and overtaking in a wrong manner. More than 90% of road deaths in 2016 were attributed to rash and negligent driving, with the latest National Crime Research Bureau statistics revealing 1.5 lakh deaths in 1.35 lakh road accidents due to delinquent driving. There are many in India who drive vehicles without proper driving licenses.
We believe that the first system that needs to be reformed is the licensing system, because that's the filtration mechanism through which one gets the right to drive a vehicle in India. Now, if the filtration mechanism is not working, it's basically corrupt, then what you see is you see people out on the road who are driving, who don't know how to drive safely, right? So people know how to operate vehicles, but they don't know how to drive safely.
For a country like ours, where driving licenses can be obtained without going through the prescribed norms, the government is taking initiatives to change the situation.
In our country, it is the fact that we have more than 30% bogus licenses. Unfortunately, India is a country where you can get easily driving license. On the basis of that, we have prepared this act. Now act is passed in the parliament, and now it is with the Rajya Sabha. I am expecting this session we will get clearance from it, and by computer will take the examination of driver, and he declare pass या fail, no human error is there, and then that computer, that whatever the test result will be, that will immediately pass to RTO office. Then RTO, it is mandatory for him to give him license within 3 days. Now this system is very scientific. There will be no chance for anybody to make any furgy licenses.
The share of fatal road accidents has increased phenomenally, as Indian cities give more importance to high-speed roads for vehicles than ensuring safe access for all.
The first type of violations are moving violations, which are dangerous, like speeds, lane jumping, red light jumping, faulty overtaking, driving too close to each other, etc. are all of moving violations, which are dangerous. The second type of violations are parking violations, anything to do with parking. The third is passenger relation violations, passenger driver passenger violations, which is, for example, not wearing a seat belt, not wearing a helmet, drinking and driving.
Weak enforcement of traffic law is a major cause of road accidents. A weak penalty system, human-dependent enforcement, minimal use of technology are a few reasons.
There are two aspects of that. Sadly, in India, enforcement is human-dependent. So it's driven by the presence of a cop on the streets, right? And that's not the way to go forward, because you can't put a cop at every red light, which is not a more effective way of enforcement. Technology has to be taken care of. A lot of these risk factors, for example, for speeding and for seat belt usage and stuff. Obviously, for drink driving, there has to be human intervention. So the cop has to analyze your breath to know whether. So there has to be humans involved in that. But a lot of other aspects of enforcement can be taken care of by technology.
Poles protruding from trucks caused 22,705 crashes, killing 8,476 people and injured 21,178. 84% of the crashes were attributed to fault of the driver, which killed 1,21,126 people and injured over 4 lakh people. Road crashes due to use of mobile phone while driving were 4,976, with 2,138 deaths and 4,746 injuries. Road crashes due to non-use of helmets resulted in 10,135 deaths. Non-use of seat belts led to 5,638 deaths.
Enforcement is the basis of correction. I mean, today, why do we enforce? Because the police have to enforce the law in a manner that people do not violate. So there are two things to enforcement. Is that almost about 1/3 of the people are violating because they are forced to violate because of wrong or faulty road and traffic engineering.
While overspeeding and drink driving are often listed as a reason for these major accidents, poor road design and improper maintenance of this infrastructure are also major contributors to the low safety standard on our roads. A total of 38,105 road crashes occurred due to potholes from 2013 to 2016, which resulted in 36,421 injuries and 11,386 deaths. Uttar Pradesh had 1,436 road crashes caused by potholes in 2016, the highest in the country, followed by Maharashtra with 1,064 road crashes. In Uttar Pradesh, 714 deaths have been accounted to potholes in this period. While faulty road design and poor maintenance of roads play a crucial role in accidents across the country, it's a pity that despite these numbers, no one is held accountable.
The civic agencies and the contractors need to be accountable for this. So the one who builds a road, one who is supposed to maintain the road. These are the two people who are actually parties who are responsible for how the road should be. The first is the design element. What we call the safe system approach needs to be put in place while the roads are being designed.
The simple reason for the rapid rise in accidents is that existing road infrastructure has not been able to keep up with the phenomenal increase in the volume of vehicles.
इन्फोर्समेंट दूसरे कंट्री में अगर आप देखेंगे तो इन्फोर्समेंट है, मगर जो मैंने कहा सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. यहाँ पर बाई शेयर नंबर इतने लोग ट्रैवल में जर्नी कर रहे हैं, इतनी गाड़ियाँ चल रही हैं रोड पर, तो इसका सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन होगा. अगर आप मेंटेन नहीं करेंगे तो जो मर्जी इन्फोर्समेंट कर लीजिए, वो तो फिर आपके उसके कंट्रोल के बाहर जाएगा. मगर इन्फोर्समेंट का जो दूसरा कारण है जो नहीं होने का है, एक तो है कि ये मतलब एक तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का लॉ एंड ऑर्डर है, NHAI का रोड्स है, और ये जो हम लोग इसमें आपस में मिलके इसको इन्फोर्स करना है, तो सबकी प्रायोरिटी अलग हो जाती है. जैसे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की प्रायोरिटी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर में कुछ और प्रायोरिटी है, मान ली उनके बहुत सारे इशू, बर्निंग इशू होते हैं, तो हो सकता है कि वो जो NH पर जो मूवमेंट हो रहा है लॉ इन्फोर्स करना, उनकी वो प्रायोरिटी में नहीं आएगा. तो इसलिए इन्फोर्समेंट तो इशू है, मैं मानता हूँ इस चीज़ को, मगर बाय शेयर साइज ऑफ दैट प्रॉब्लम इसे इतना आसान नहीं है इसको सॉल्व करना.
There are some exceptions. In Chandigarh, one of India's best planned cities, the police are strong enforcers of the law.
Definitely there is a connection between road rage and not following the traffic rules, because many a times road rage happens when somebody is violating the traffic rules and other one is pointing out, and then the road rage happens. So we believe with the help of strict enforcement of traffic laws, we can also reduce the cases of road rage. But at the same time, we must also understand road rage is also related to human behavior and psychological issues in one's life. Therefore, it is not completely controllable.
If a person receives cardiopulmonary resuscitation, commonly referred to as CPR, within 5 minutes of collapsing, his or her chances of survival without any effect to the brain are 70%. So knowing CPR can empower you to be able to act on time to save lives. So what is CPR? CPR means cardiopulmonary resuscitation, artificially restoring the heart functions by compressing the heart. CPR can double or even triple the victim's chance of survival. Statistics show about 97% of population cannot help in sudden cardiac arrest situations. Very often we see accident victims just lying by the side of the road with no one coming forward to help. There is something called the golden hour, first hour after an accident.
Golden hour means if you see an accident victim and if the accident happens, then you have 60 minutes time for him to go to hospital and get the definitive care, including the surgical care. And it is important because if you cross that 60 minutes boundary, the mortality will be much higher than the patients who will be coming below 60 minutes. First of all, I have seen many times that the people just surround the accident victims. Don't do that, just call the helpline numbers. we have various helpline numbers across the country like 108, 102. Call the helpline so that the medical help arrives on time. If not, call the police at least, because they know other medical agencies who can come and help. Secondly, if you see excessive bleeding, just try to use some clothes to tie it and stop the bleeding. And then don't panic and allow the medical people to transport the patients directly to the hospital.
If a victim makes it to hospital within the golden hour, the chances of survival are relatively high. But in our country, which sees the highest road accident fatalities in the world, the importance of being a first responder to an accident is forgotten. There is now Supreme Court mandated protection for Good Samaritans. You will not be troubled by the police if you choose to help. But despite the new laws, how many actually do? In the last 14 years, Rajiv, who works with a globally recognized NGO, says that he has saved 35 lives. It's almost second nature to him.
The crowd was like, "Aapne khud mara hai, humne dekha hai, paise do." That particular moment was something that gave me a motivation and a real encouragement, thinking, yes, something needs to be done for sure.
After a Supreme Court ruling in March 2016, the Good Samaritan Law was changed to ensure that first responders or Good Samaritans are not troubled by unnecessary questioning by the police. How is the first responder protected by law? A Good Samaritan making a phone call to inform the police about an accidental injury or death does not need to reveal their personal identity. The option of becoming a witness in the matter shall solely rest with the Good Samaritan. If a Good Samaritan chooses to be a witness, they will be questioned at a time and place of their convenience. Lack of response by a doctor in an emergency situation pertaining to road accidents shall constitute professional misconduct. The Good Samaritan shall not be liable for any civil or criminal liability. To improve road safety in India, a road safety curriculum needs to be designed and structured so that children can start learning about road safety laws and rules from an early age. We've prepared an agenda so that we can make our roads safer for each one of us. Strict implementation of the traffic rules. The defaulters should be fined heavily for breaking the rules. Making licensing and driving tests stricter. Stringent punishment for drunk driving and overspeeding. Improve the quality of the roads with flyovers, grade separators, service roads, signboards, pavements, monitored crossings near schools and other safety features have to be the primary focus while designing new road infrastructure.